Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back to the show. It's Sunday, and we're fighting already, man. Game one delivered. What do you think, Romeo?
There were a lot of surprises in there for me, so I definitely had a good time watching it.
That was hot. Oh, man. Most aggressive OKV truck placement we've ever seen by OMGPOP on Samoski, and just perfect Puma usage. The Puma was the star of the show, reaching 5 stars a vet. You know, there's just something right about what's going on, because we're just starting the next game now. So game 2 with OMGPOP and Simon is already underway, and we're in the game. You guys aren't going to miss a thing. Before we jump in there, I just want to quickly show you their fight cards so we can see how they've been doing on the ladders lately. Let's move over and check this out real quick. Here is OMGPOP. He is number 1 with USF, and that is the faction that he'll be playing in this next game. So let's see how the USF King of the Ladders does with his preferred faction. You can see overall he's got amazing stats, 14th OKV, and just a ladder boss to be feared. Here's his USF OKV player card. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. You can see the gold star next to U.S. forces. He's played 84 games only and 67 OKV, so that's not a lot. I mean, sure. How many games of USF do you have, Romeo?
Geez, I don't know. I think I have like well over 1,000. I have like 300 or something in 2v2s and like 700 1v1s or something like that. I don't know, some big number.
That's impressive. Let's have a look at Simon, aka Aimstrong. Here he is. He's rocking Mark Hamill with the lightsaber as his Steam avatar. You can see that, you know, he's been laddering. He sort of came back to the game a month or 2 ago, and he's been laddering quite a bit. He's got a lot of games with Soviets and Oster. He's got 98 games with USF. He is 14th on that ladder and 7th on the OKV ladder. So his OKV play should be pretty tight. Here we look at the USF OKV cards, and there you can see rank 7 with the faction that he'll be using on a 4 streak with a 900 win percentage, 900 batting average of 900. That's crazy high. He's 55 and 6. All right, so you guys ready for game 2? OMGPOP and Simon. I think everything's set up correctly. We got some subscribers in the chat. Insane Priest, Lady L4HTI. I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad you guys have subbed. Flashing the SNF star. Romeo, it's time. Let's go in game. Come on.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Unpause, and they are off. Romeo and I are synced. I am looking at the western corner of the map. This is Samoski. This is round 5. It's a best of 3. And I would like to introduce you in the blue trunks, playing the USF, representing North America. I think he's the only North American player left in this tournament. From Canada, it's OMGPOP.
Yeah, Canada! Woo!
Excellent.
And got the country right
north,
that time.
Playing the OKV, trailing 0-1 in this series, on the brink of elimination. He needs to come back in the red trunks, which is appropriate because he's from Denmark. It's Aimstrong! Okay. Here we see rear echelon are capping, and a squad of rifles are coming out. Now, do you think we'll see recon?
We already do see recon, so I guess that little birdie that told you about the Greyhound was right. Probably going to be seeing that very soon.
All right, well, we'll spot it. How quickly do you think OMGPOP can get an M8 out?
Well, I'm thinking after his first light vehicle, but before his first tank, probably around the 8-minute mark. 3 command points is kind of high.
8 minutes, okay. I'll go for the under. If we're playing over/under, we can play it in the chat. Do you guys think it'll be over 8 minutes or under 8 minutes? I'm going to go with under. I'm thinking like 7 minutes or 6:50 even, maybe. Because, you know, it's going to be a rush. I can almost assure you. But, you know, here's the thing. This goes way back to Company of Heroes. Aimstrong developed an Axis strategy that was all about XP denial. He would deny command points. He would not let you kill any of his units. his whole strategy was based on XP denial. So if anybody can slow down the production of a commander unit, it's going to be Aimstrong.
He's already pushing these riflemen around with his SWS here in the north, getting a lot of nice free damage on that rifle squad while they're kind of dancing around it in red cover from those Sturm Pioneers. They haven't even taken any damage in return yet.
Rear echelon are chased out of the south. These Volksgrenadiers garrison this house and send them packing. Now they're going to continue on capping. They probably, well, let's see. He's changed his mind. He's going to be more aggressive, and he's going to go decap something. He might even go for the fuel. I'm not sure. We'll see where those Grenadiers are headed.
Just look at the health bars on the UI indicators. Rifle and rear echelons both at half, and all of Simon's infantry still at full health.
Nice, very nice observation. We got another Volksgrenadier squad coming out. He's building 4 of them. That's on the high side. I think the average is around 3. We saw Von Ivan in a game yesterday versus General Yap build 7 Volksgrenadier.
I think he might be doing exactly OMGPOP's build from the previous game. OMGPOP went with 4 Volksgrenadiers into a mechanized regiment headquarters. I guess I don't know what Simon is planning on teching, but he did get 4 Volksgrenadiers before teching. So far it's an identical build from both players. 3 rifles and 4 Volksgrenadiers from both of them.
You know what I don't think is going to be identical is going to be OKV truck placement. I'm really curious to see where Simon puts his trucks.
Well, right now, he can't put it in the same place with those riflemen on his cutoff.
That is true. And that's nicely played by OMGPOP. He's capping and trying to connect now. Wow. I looked in the north for a second, and I clicked on the rifles, and they said gather round, and I heard it echo. Because, you know, it's like, because they're like in between some buildings. The sound spectrum in this game never ceases to impress me.
This is what we're trained for.
The Sturm Pioneer, I have a little accent. They said, this is what we are training for. Achtung! Love these dudes. All right, the fighting is kicking off again. These Sturm Pioneer are being attacked by some rifles at the top, and the rifles going for the cutoff have garrisoned, but we have Volksgrenadiers behind sandbags. Might be a long fight. OMGPOP is overpowered in the north by 2 sets of Volksgrenadier.
Yeah, but he's got control of that house by the axis cutoff, and that can prove to be very annoying, especially for OKW, who have no anti-garrison upgrades, only grenades. And when they need to save their munitions for panzer strikes, it can be really troublesome to get those riflemen out of that house right there.
You have to really make a tough decision. I mean, against a player like Aimstrong, you also have to assume that if you throw a grenade, he's going to dodge it. You have to assume that, you know, as a general rule. So, you know, maybe you could do it if you could draw his attention elsewhere with another skirmish and then maybe sneak a nade in. But you're right, it's going to be really difficult for Simon to get OMGPOP out of these houses. And if we remember Sunday Night Fight Season 5, OMGPOP loves all of the houses in Samoski. Do you remember? He used to camp some guards in this house right here outside of the Wehrmacht base in Season 5, just game after game. And he managed to, like, keep guards in there an entire game, if I don't recall. Okay, there it is. What time? What time? Look at that. Oh, I win totally. Oh, I win by so much.
No,
5
I'm
minutes.
winning, actually, because that's an M20 utility car, and the Greyhound isn't here yet.
Okay,
I
that's
said
the
it was going to get here.
That's the trifecta of me getting it wrong. I just got it wrong for the 3rd time. Okay, now I'm done, I promise you. I'm done. I'm done. Hashtag, is it an M8 or is it an M20? I'm done. I'm done with that mistake. That was my last one. I'm vowing to myself. Okay, well, this is curious. I mean, if he goes M20, is that going to slow his teching for M8 at all?
No, not at all, because it's a call-in, so he doesn't have any tech requirements to get it. He's obviously going to have
a bit of fuel in it.
By the time. Yeah, but I mean,
that's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. He'll have that much by the time he hits 3 command points. That's around the time you're getting a tank out, so easily.
All right, well then I guess you've got a pretty strong advantage. What did we say, 8 minutes? Okay, so I only have 1.5 minutes left, and yeah, at 1.5 CPs, it doesn't look like Pop's going to do that. So yeah, Aimstrong, man, experience denial, it's happening, but you know, still, OMGPOP has a nice foothold in the center, and you know, where did Aimstrong wind up parking his truck? In his base.
In his base, and it's not a mechanized regiment, it's a battle group headquarters, so he is actually taking differently, and I'm thinking we're going to see a tier 4 rush rather than getting all 3 tech structures this time.
Yeah, because now he can't quick tech to Puma. So what are you thinking then would be his first tier 4 unit?
Probably a Lux or just straight oversold on. I'm not really sure what he'll do against an M20, and the Lux can be effective, but if you hit a mine, of course, that's catastrophic.
Okay, so we don't have any mines down yet from USF. Let's try to keep an eye on it. It's always hard to spot mines as an observer. The M20 can't lay mines, right?
Yes, it can.
It can?
Yes, that's
Where's
almost
the,
a full
I didn't even
point.
see the icon. Where is it? Oh, here we go.
It's-
M6 anti-tank
yeah.
mines for 60 munitions. Okay. He can't afford them at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on that. If you see him put one down, you let me know, all right, Romeo?
I absolutely will.
All right. Okay, we have a Raketenwerfer out from Simon, but he hasn't been able to range the M20 yet. We have some harassment going on in the north. You can see squads are off by themselves, capping points. OMGPOP might lose this rifleman. He'd forgotten about it. That's going to be a costly loss. Don't lose squads.
Yeah.
That's what we tell all the players that are starting with this game.
Also, it turns out I was wrong. I thought he was going to get it now, but I'm not sure he's going to get it at all. He just hit 3 command points, but instead of calling it in, he's getting an AA half-track.
Oh, wow. That's really curious. I mean, why go recon if you're not going to bust canister shots on your opponent? That's a really strange choice.
I'm not sure. Maybe because of the buildings? You can't use canister shot inside on a house, so that's something to consider.
But then why go recon at all?
He might have wanted the IR Pathfinders. I mean, the fact is he chose recon 30 seconds into the game. He wasn't really reacting to his opponent's decisions.
Another American unit falls. I missed that. I was watching the Pioneer in the center. What went down? Rifles?
Stern
No?
Pioneers wiped a rifle squad in that house. I don't know why he left them in there. He had plenty of time to escape. I think he just wasn't paying attention.
Wow, now we got volley fire activated by OMGPOP. Some curious decisions from Pop. He does have decent map control. He's lost 2 squads, though, and, you know, I don't know. Who's winning? It's really hard to tell, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think Simon is winning by a long shot. Wiping 2
Whoa.
rifle squads is huge.
Okay, fair enough.
HMG squad ready for action.
All right, we got a 50 cal machine gun squad called in by OMGPOP. And let's see, the half track has hit the field and it's backing into the action as it should. So the main cannon faces the enemy. But he hasn't gotten to open up fire yet. Simon's staying behind the house. Let's see, Fog of War, I don't know. I mean, I would assume he knows about the half track, but I'm not sure. Interesting garrison of this house in the far north, isn't it, by these rifles? You don't see that one used often.
I actually garrison it somewhat frequently with rear echelon troops because if you take a look, there's 4 windows facing south, which makes it kind of annoying to get that point back. If you're just sending like one lone harassing squad, it'll lose to whatever's in that house pretty much 100% of the time because there's no cover on the approach. It's completely open field.
Wow, this half-track has a chance to annihilate one of Simon's squads that he spent 100 munitions to upgrade with a Panzer Shrek. And
there he goes.
He does annihilate the squad. Fortunately, perhaps for Aimstrong, he doesn't drop the Shrek, but that's a massive loss of 100 munitions that
Yes, it
Okabe
absolutely
really
is.
can't afford.
He can't afford it when he doesn't have the flanks either. OMGPOP has all, but he doesn't actually have either of the munitions points, but he does have both of the cutoffs, or at least whited both of the cutoffs. So Simon has 10 munitions coming in right now, which is
Romeo, I'm going to ask you again and give you a chance to update your opinion. Who's winning this game now?
Now that Panzer Shrek just went down, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's going to come down to Simon's his looks. I think he's rushing a looks. He can get it in 10 fuel. He needs to use it just perfectly. We'll see what happens with his tier 4 units.
Okay, there you can see the requirements to build the Panzer II, the Panzer II Lux. Yeah, and you know, even if he gets it, there's still got a lot of work to do. He does have the 2 Raketenwerfers. I don't know, they haven't really played any role in the game yet. OMGPOP has been able to avoid them entirely.
Yeah, he really is just getting those Raketenwerfers to prevent himself from being hugely bullied by those light vehicles. They can't get too aggressive and do anything, you know, crazy like chasing across this road and wiping squads on retreat. But again, they're not very good AT weapons. They won't really be able to stand up to the medium armor swarms that are almost certainly on their way.
And just look how conservative the truck placement had to be from Aimstrong. Now, this Raketenwerfer's, okay, the Lux is being built. You can see that now. And, perhaps if he does a nice push with everything, like gets the Raketenwerfers running, the 4 Volksgrenadier squads, if he gets them all moving into one point at once, perhaps he can crack this. But, OMGPOP has got the entire map.
And I really think the main reason that Simon has lost all of his map control is because of that house. The house is just so difficult to force riflemen out of and make your way back into the central village.
Okay, one good play by Aimstrong. He comes out with minesweepers, very smart, and he finds the M6 mine and he kills it with a Raketenwerfer. So, those are the kind of little plays that you need to get yourself back into the game.
Absolutely. If he doesn't minesweep super carefully, he risks losing that Lux in one shot. The mine will destroy it completely, even from full health.
All right, the Lux is on the field, and this is make or break time for Aimstrong's tournament hopes. He's already trailing, and he's really behind in map control. I can show you very quickly the points held graph. Here we go. Ami Micro, there we go. You can see how far behind he is. So this is the gap he needs to close. He's bringing the Lux around all stealth style, trying to catch this M20 out of position. He does get a rear armor shot in, but it doesn't do a ton of damage. Now, where are the Raketenwerfers? They're totally out of position behind the trees. And, the other one's probably in the middle of the map somewhere. Could still get it, though.
I don't know if he's going to chase. It looks like classic M20 baiting. Yeah, he can't chase that. He can't afford to. There could be a mine anywhere. He just can't get too aggressive.
But he's got to take a risk. He's so far behind. He has to take a risk. There he does. Sneaks up just enough to destroy the vehicle. Pop does salvage the crew, which has triple vet. So he might be able to put those in another vehicle. And Aimstrong has decided to put all of his marbles in the basket of pushing around the northern side of Samoski. And now he's finally going to be able to cap up a few points. The Raketenwerfer is going to grab a point. These Volksgrenadiers are going to grab a VP. He wants to keep himself in this game as long as possible. Aimstrong is already down to 260 VPs. Amazing how fast they can go.
Yeah, but again, Oberkommando West has that insane late game against U.S. forces. If he can just hold out until his Panther arrives, until his Obersoldaten start gaining ground, anything's possible.
All right, if he wants a Panther, he's going to need 145 more fuel. Just in case you're curious about the teching situation. So it's going to be a long time. Okay, the Lux managed to swap sides really quickly, perhaps surprise Pop a little bit, and take out this 50 cal MG gun. Now that would be amazing for Aimstrong if he could capture it. Oh, a pretty good Zook from the house into the Lux. He's going to have to pull back. That's his saving grace, the only really strong unit in the possession of Aimstrong at the moment. Nice by OMGPOP to recapture his own MG. He's got the anti-air half-track working on these Volksgrenadiers that are trying to be aggressive. Aimstrong's trying to keep him in the house just long enough to cover for the Raketenwerfer, which is he's trying to move into position.
Get them out of there.
I don't know.
Oh, they get wiped.
Oh, they die. The Raketenwerfer gets one shot in, but now Pop is going to be able to micro. Look at these two riflemen trying to run blocking against the Raketenwerfer. The Raketenwerfer is afraid of what else might come and just hard retreats.
Yeah. I mean, a Raketenwerfer is so unreliable and so fragile that you really, I mean, Simon, if he loses that and gives it over to his opponent, there may be no coming back for him. He doesn't want a Raketenwerfer shooting at his Lux in addition to all of the other threats that it already has to deal with.
Tough retreat for these Volksgrenadiers that were busy capping on the western portion of the map, but they are going to make it back. OMGPOP's moving up some infantry to recap, and he's also still trying to prevent Simon from having any breathing room in the middle of the map.
Keep adjusting your position! Behind the shield! Stay down! Heavy MG fire! Receiving enemy fire!
All right, the Lux is back up to full health, and that's 2 times that he's cleared the MG. AA half-track's coming back to help with this defense. The house is getting down to about 40%. These zooped up crew members are getting a lot of work done in that house.
Absolutely, but Obersoldaten are here, and they're actually pretty effective at brute forcing down units inside of the house. And I'm honestly, at this point, quite surprised that he hasn't thrown a grenade in there. A grenade would destroy the building at its current health, and I would just want to just blow that house up and just be done with it. I wouldn't want to have to try and deal with this anymore.
We can give a Sunday Night Fights warm Sunday quarterfinals welcome to the M4A3 Sherman that just hit the field from OMGPOP. Sherman, welcome to the show. Done being the star of Fury and the Bovington Tank Museum. Now you can be on SNF, and down goes that house finally. I guess
he'd had enough. He had manually attacked it with a Raket Morph there and the Lux just to blow it up. He didn't even wait for another unit to get inside.
Okay, no more of that, but he's, let's see, OMGPOP moves the Major, who does have the reinforced point activated, and his ambulance in front of the church. Now, Aimstrong, you know, in the midst of all this, is somehow still capping everywhere. You know, a lot of players would have only one territory at this point, but somehow Aimstrong's still capping a bit. He does have 2 Obersoldaten squads now.
Yeah, he did manage to squeak that Volksgrenadier squad down through the south and get that VP. And it's interesting that he's going for the cutoffs rather than getting that munitions point back under his control, because, again, his munitions situation is awful. He lost that first Panzerschreck. He now has one that he just upgraded, and he's not going to have another one for a long time. Still only 18 munitions coming in, and OMGPOP has 300 in the bank.
Losing that first Panzerschreck was such a big hit. That really hurt the Okave. It was funny, you know, like he started losing all this map control, and OMGPOP sent the Sherman over to deal with it, but they're like, where'd he go? I have no idea where he went. He knows now because they're capping the strap point in the far south.
I'm actually surprised not to see the OMGPOP using that Sherman as an effective counter-harassment tool. It's not really doing that much where it is right now. He could easily send that to go wipe that Volksgrenadier squad there that's being a thorn in his side in the south or the north.
All right. They're
Either way.
sneaking about. Let's see if they've discovered each other. Okay, the rifles know where those Grens are, and the Grens know where the rifles are. And now it's Simon's turn to sit in the house for a little while and be a nuisance. But with the Sherman there, he should be able to clear them out very quickly. Sherman Panzer closing. Okay, the Lux has tasked to the northern part of the map. He doesn't want to lose any more control there, but he might just be forced to. Oh, Lux versus AA. Any predictions?
I think that Lux has to pull back. It's falling too low. He's really lucky that that rifle squad's not Vet 1. And look how close it is to Vet 1. If they had popped AT grenade on that Lux, it would have died in that for sure.
All right, well, this might wind up being an excellent skirmish now that there are Volksgrenadiers with Shreks here. The rifles are sitting behind green cover at the haystack, and it looks like Aimstrong is just going to play it conservative and pull back.
He's losing a full squad of Obersoldaten. Okay, he just retreated them. They were pinned and taking fire from that Sherman. If he had gotten one lucky shell, that would be a dead squad.
Okay, these rifles are a bit static. They need to carry on capping. Another squad of Volksgrenadier have snuck to the south. So there's a very, very cat and mouse game happening as both players are reluctant to send any serious units down there. Now the Raketenwerfer's targeted the next house that it would like to destroy. He's got sight on it because of these Grenadiers sitting here. Put on the Fog of War real quick. You can see that these Grens are providing Viz for the Raketenwerfer. Now the Lux is going to get into the action, but with the Sherman there, it's going to be tough for him.
Sherman has HE rounds equipped. It looks like it's switching now. Or no, it's not switching. So, he has a second Sherman, though.
This house getting very low. He might lose his vehicle soon. Vehicle crew if they don't hop out. The Shermans are going to go after this Lux and all the infantry that's in the south. They're going to try to assist these poor riflemen that are getting torn up by Obersoldaten. Looks like Aimstrong has felt that most of the strong units have moved to the southern portion of the map, so he's going to get a bit aggressive with his Lux. The Shermans are ripping through Volksgrenadiers. The house
there
falls.
Goes the
Did he lose the
crew.
vehicle crew? Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame, man. He could have put that vet vehicle crew in this other Sherman, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, massive losses being incurred by OKW right now, accomplishing nothing in this push. His full squads of Volksgrenadiers getting wiped. Here goes another one as he crosses the river. I don't think Aimstrong can come back from this situation.
Youch.
He's still 40 fuel from his Panther, and there's just tanks just pouring onto the field.
And strong USF play from OMG Pop. A couple nice breaks, and so much of this game is just positioning. And those Folks Grenadiers, the first set that lost that track, they were just out of position. They should never have been where they were, and there should never have been the chance that they could get wiped. And like when that happened, suddenly Aimstrong, like the whole tide of the battle swung.
Absolutely, and that really super early harassment of the Axis cutoff, like with almost first few minutes of the game, he never was able to get safely back into the center of the village, and that's that snowballed into him having to set up his battle group headquarters in his base instead of having that nice forward position, and just from that point on, he just never was able to get back onto the battlefield.
Oh man!
Squad.
What a knock by this AA half track. The M15A1 picks up double vet. He's got 13 kills. You saw the 200 XP kickers blast open as the Obersoldaten were wiped.
He's just putting nail after nail in his coffin.
Man, this is a real close fight one-on-one, and man, the double vet AA half track might just win it outright. No, the Raketwerfer saves the day in the nick of time, landing the kill shot, saving the life of the Panzer II Lux. Let's get repairing, Pioniera. Let's get repairing. The two Shermans are coming. Look out.
That was a nice play, but ultimately I don't think it matters. He doesn't even need that AA half track anymore. He's got 2 tanks rolling around.
Let's see if Pop can finish off the Lux. Whoa!
He's trying to take it out with the HE rounds. It's just not going to happen. I don't know what the odds are of a frontal penetration on a Lux with the HE round, but it's not very good. It's quite unlikely.
He does clear the Raketwerfer, and that's it. Simon bows out, man. Puts up the white flag. GG. Allies win. Happy holidays, everybody, from Ami, Romeo, Strummingberg, Linsky, Computer Heat, and all of the staff at co2.org. We're very happy and very thankful to Dr. Vox, Rex, and Vilta for putting up the sponsorship cash to make this 1v1 tourney happen. We're having a blast. We just finished out the first quarterfinal of the day, where our number 2 seed, OMG Pop, has sent the TFN champ packing. That's it for him. He will not be in the money. OMG Pop is moving on to the semifinals, which are going to be best of 5, which we will show you later. And since that second game was relatively quick, I bet you anything we can get into some other round 5 action, Romeo. So let's go to the break and let's figure out what we're going to cast next, shall we?
Yes, indeed.
All right, stick with us, folks. See you soon.